guys, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over 5 cars that you shouldn't buy in Driving Empire versus its counterpart that you should buy. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video and find the best car for you. Alright, so the first car you shouldn't buy is the McLaren 765 LT Spider, and the reason for this is here are the stats on the screen now. It has a top speed of 204 miles per hour, a acceleration of 46%, a handling of 51%, and a braking of 44% with a price tag of $520,000. Now, the convertible on this thing is pretty cool, but it slows down the car and all the other stats because you can't have a car going 200 and something with the roof down. It's just not ideal. Now, it is cool and all, there is a better counterpart. Now, you know, you still can buy this car if you want, but for straight performance, I'm giving you the next best car. So let's get on to its counterpart, which is way better and still as cool, or even cooler if you like body kits. So let's get on to that one. Alright, so now here is its counterpart, the McLaren 765 LT Coupe. And it doesn't have a convertible for slowing it down, and it has a lot more customization options, which I know a lot of people love because customization videos always get views. It has a thing like a roof scoop, a roll cage, you can get a carbon front bonnet and carbon right here on like the splitter, and then of course, oh, that's not the splitter, but you know, and then you know, a carbon spoiler. You could choose between all these options, and titanium exhaust. That's why it's like that cool color right there instead of just the boring gray. So there's a lot of customization options that you can do on the 765 LT Coupe that you can't do on the Spider because the Spider, you know, doesn't have a roof. So, and the stats are way better for a smaller price. The price tag is $460,000 with some vehicle stats like 205 miles per hour, 45,000, so, 45,000, yeah, I don't think that's possible. 45% acceleration. 60, I mean, what's going on here? I don't know how to read. 51% acceleration and 44% braking for, you know, of course, the smaller price tag of $460,000. So that is, what is that math? $60,000 less? $60,000 less than, you know, the Spider version, and you get a lot of cool customization options and better stats. That is just a steal. So if you want a 765 LT, I would say go for the Coupe version because it has a lot more customization options and a better price and better performance. So why wouldn't you? Unless you really love spiders, then of course get, you know, the Spider version. But let's get on to the next car that you shouldn't buy. Alright, so a lot of people love this car, so this one's gonna be a bit controversial. But here is the GT3 RS, the 2023 version, and its vehicle stats, you know, are, you know, surprisingly not as good as everyone thinks. The top speed is 184 miles per hour, the acceleration is 69%, which basically carries the car in races. The handling is 49%, and the braking is 46%. So, it literally doesn't actually have that good of stats, and it has a price tag of $480,000. Okay, I just fell into the ocean. Back to the car. Yeah, it has a pretty hefty price tag, and the stats aren't actually as good as everyone thinks. So here is the counterpart version. This is going to be a bit controversial because I know a lot of people love the 2023 GT3 RS. Very popular car, just like the SVJ over Aventador or anything like that. But here's its counterpart. Alright, so here is its counterpart, the GT3 RS 9972. I think it's what it is. So it is an older version. It's still a GT3 RS. It's just a bit older, you know, like, I don't know, 2000 something maybe. And here are the vehicle stats. It has a higher top speed of 193 miles per hour. Acceleration is, you know, 19% less of 50%. Handling is 49%, so I think it's better or the same. I'm not sure. And braking is 46%. So it has similar stats, but it has a better top speed and might have a better handling and braking, with a lower price tag of $390,000. Now, what the last one was like 480,000. Yes, the last one was 480 grand. You're getting this one for 390 grand. So that's $90,000 less than the 2023 GT3 RS. Now, a lot of people, of course, like I said, love the newer version, but if you're just going for performance and cheaper price, here is your car. It's still a GT3 RS, just a bit older, and it has better vehicle stats if you think of it like longer races. So yeah, I would say if you're just going performance straight out, get the older GT3 RS, but if you just like the GT3 RS, you can still get that. But let's get on to the next car that you shouldn't buy in Driving Empire. Now here's when the price changes difference between the counterpart and the one I'm saying not to buy gets actually insane. So here is the Lycan Hypersport by W Motors, and this thing is $3.4 million. Here are the vehicle stats right now. It has a top speed of 245 miles per hour, an acceleration of 48%, a handling of 62%, with a braking of 42%. So like for $3.4 million, you could find way better cars, but if you're just going for W Motors, which there's only 2 cars from their brand, the cheaper one is actually way better. So now let's get on to its counterpart of the Lycan Hypersport, that if you want a W Motors, then get this one. Now here is the newer car from W Motors, and it has way better stats than the older one for 3.4 million. Here are the stats right now. It has a top speed of 248 miles per hour, which is already 3 miles per hour better than the last car. What a difference, bro. I mean, it really matters. It has an acceleration of 49%, a handling of 62%, and a braking of 42%, which are all the same besides the acceleration being 1% higher. So it still is better. It still is better with an insane price tag of $1.9 million. So that's a pretty big jump down from 3.4 million to $1.9 million for a better car, and, you know, some could say better looking. I'm not sure. I don't really care for W Motors, but if you are a W Motors guy, then get the, you know, the newer one, because it's newer, it has better stats, and it's cheaper. So why wouldn't you? Unless you're trying to get the one from the movie, which you can. Like, if you just really want that car, then you should. But if you're going for a performance, like I've always been saying, then definitely go for this one right here. But let's get on to the next car that you shouldn't buy in Driving Empire. All right, now here's the Zenvo TS RS, and it's very popular because of its spoiler, because when you turn, this spoiler turns with you to give you like extra, you know, control or stability. It's very cool, very powerful for this, especially when it brakes too. It does that, so it has like the best arrow on this spoiler. And here are the vehicle stats right now. It has a top speed of 202 miles per hour, acceleration of 49%, a handling of 64%, and a braking of 44%, with a price tag of $2.5 million. Hold up, guys. My dad's starting up the lawnmower. We gotta take a little break here. That thing is loud, bro. Yo, why does the lawnmower sound like it's straight pipes? What does my dad have on that thing, bro? Alright, but back to the TSRS. It has a price tag of $2.5 million. I think I already noted that. But now, let's get on to its counterpart, which I was never expecting to be this much better. But let's get on to the next one. Alright, now here is the Zenvo TS1 GT, and this one was kind of an unknown car. Like, a lot of people didn't drive this thing because you just expected it to be worse than the TSRS. But then I looked at its stats, and what's going on here? Okay, here are the stats. Top speed is 233 miles per hour. Acceleration is 51%, handling is 55%, and braking is 42%. The only difference is the braking is 2% less than the TSRS, and the handling is like 9% less than the TSR, whatever it's called. And here are the only differences. The TSRS, or whatever you want to call it, has an acceleration of 49%, and the TS1 GT has an acceleration of 51%, so that's better. The TSRS has a handling of 64%, while the TSS1, the one I'm driving right now, has a handling of 55%. So it's 9% less, and then the braking is 44% on the TSRS, and the braking is 42%. So, like, what? Like, 2% less on braking and 9% less on acceleration, but it has a 31 mile per hour difference on stock. So this thing is way faster, and it just has worse handling. And that's basically it besides all the differences. So, like, which one are you gonna get? The way faster one with a little decent less handling? Yeah, I'm gonna take the struggle of it having a little less handling than the TSRS. Although the TSRS is cool and all, if you're going straight for a performance, get the TS1 GT. It's way cheaper. I forgot to mention that price tag of $1.2 million versus $2.5 million of the TSRS. Yeah, this thing's like $1 million plus less. But let's get on to the last, you know, duo, which is the one on the thumbnail, which you probably clicked on for. So let's get on to that one right now. Alright, so here is the Koenigsegg Jesco Attack. Now, this is a very popular car in the game because it's known as the best car in the game. It truly is. Look at the vehicle stats. Its top speed is 320 miles per hour. So it's you know, it's faster than the Devil 16 by just a couple, and on stock speed, of course. A couple miles per hour, it's faster. Acceleration is a little less than the Devil 16, so you're not going to win a highway race against it. But all around, this is the best car in the game, with a handling of 77% and a braking of 58%. So if you're looking at this vehicle stats, you're only seeing good numbers. It is the best car in the game. But if you have the best car in the game, which also I forgot the price tag of $16 million, it's hard to say this, but in public lobbies, nobody's gonna want to race you. If you're trying to race somebody, they're not gonna race you. Now, you might get a couple looks being like, oh my god, you got the Koenigsegg Jesco Attack, you're the best player in the game. Yeah, you might get that, but they're not gonna want to race you. No one's gonna want to race you because you have the fastest car in the game and all around the best car in the game. I mean, you're just gonna get a couple looks here now and then, but you're never gonna get a race against anybody. Its price tag is too much, and nobody's gonna want to race you, so let's get on to its counterpart, which is actually amazing, and I stand by this car. I'm so biased about it. Let's get on to it. Now, here's the last counterpart in the video, being the Gordon Murray, what is this thing called? The Automotive T50S Niki Lauda. And this thing is so good for its price. So here are the vehicle stats, 230 miles per hour. Now the other one is the number switched on the Jesco. It's 320, but we're just forget about that part. The acceleration is 64%, the handling is 72%, and the braking is 49%. And the price tag is $10 million less than the Jesco, being $5 million. So this thing is not overpriced or anything. And I would say besides the Solis GT, this is the third best all-around car in the game. If you're not like, you know, like doing races, like if you're doing races like cross country and circuit, best all around, like all stats, not just one stat, like top speed, Devil 16, but no handling. Like all around, this thing is the third best car in the game for a cheap price of $5 million. Now I'm saying cheap price because the other counterparts are $15 million, like the Solis GT, and then $60 million like the Jesco. So don't buy the McLaren 765 LT Spider, buy the 2020 McLaren 765 LT Coupe. Don't buy the W Motors Lycan Hypersport, buy the W Motors Fenray Super Sport. Do not buy the Zenvo TS RS, buy the Zenvo TS1 GT, and don't buy the 2023 Koenigsegg Jesco, buy the 2021 Gordon Murray Automotive T50S Niki Lauda. But yeah, that was 5 cars that you shouldn't buy against or versus its counterparts that you should buy in Driving Empire. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it helped. And yeah, check out my description where my other 2 channels are, especially my Forza Horizon 5 channel. Make sure you subscribe to that. And hope to see you guys in the next video. But comment down below if this helped.